Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to discuss the part 2 of the urinary tract infection. So in the previous video I have explained you all about the definition and symptoms of the urinary tract infection. So now we will discuss the pathophysiology of the urinary tract infection. So here the first thing I have to mention is I will tell only the important points which are included in this. I will not explain the whole chapter here. So I will only explain the points which are very much helpful for your examination. So final examination. So we will see only that much points here. So the urinary tract is normally sterile. So we are having two types of urinary tract infection. So the first one is complicated and the second one is uncomplicated UTI. So here what happens is the urinary bladder is having the mucosal membrane. So in that mucosal membrane what happens is the E. coli bacteria will come and attach or adhere to the mucosal membrane. So this is the causing bacteria. So that inhibit the periurethral vaginal introitus. Okay. So next is it will ascend into the bladder via the urethra. So what happens is in urethra the mucosal membrane will be present. So from that mucosal membrane it will enter into the bladder and it will adhere to the part that is mucosa. Mucosa membrane will be there, no? It will adhere to the mucosal membrane, then it will cause the infection. The second pathophysiology we can say that the sexual intercourse may also promote the migration. So where this bacteria come from means whenever the sexual intercourse happens, then it will promote the migration of this bacteria. And cystitis is common in healthy young women because healthy young women will be sexually active. So it may cause most people are affected is young women. Next is the urine is a good culture medium. So urine is having some sort of pH. So if the pH is less or 5.5, then it is very much favorable for the bacterial growth. And with high concentration of urea and the presence of organic salts derived from a diet that includes fruits and proteins. So if we consume more of the protein and the fruits, then our urea or the urine will be high in concentration and because of the presence of the organic acids. So the next thing we have to know here is whenever a person is releasing the urine or he is undergoing the micturition process, then always a thin film of the urine remains in the bladder. So we are having the bladder. So in that bladder, the thin film of urine will be remaining. So next what happens is if any bacteria which is present in our body is remaining in the body, then it is removed by the mucosal cell production. So we are having totally three types of the pathophysiology to we are having two types of pathophysiology or three types of pathophysiology for to get rid of this infection. So the first thing we are going to discuss is mucosal cell production. So how this mucosal cell production happens is if any bacteria, so a thin film of the urine is remaining in the bladder after emptying the urine, then if any bacteria is remaining, that is removed by the mucosal cell production. And if the mechanism of lower urinary tract fail with involvement of upper tract, then it will result in pyelonephritis. As I told you before that pyelonephritis is the infection to the kidney and cystitis is the infection to the bladder. So here what happens, second mechanism I will going to discuss now. So local leukocyte phagocytosis is the another process to get rid of the bacteria. So host means we are the host because we are getting the disease means we are the host. So the host defenses at this level include local leukocyte phagocyte. So leukocyte is nothing but the WBCs. Okay. So WBC is what happens, it is a local defense for our body. So if any foreign bacteria enters into our body, so the white blood cells help to get rid of the bacteria. So here the same thing happens. Phagocytosis is nothing but engulfing of the bacteria. So host what it will do, it defends us at this level by local leukocyte production. So local leukocyte phagocytosis means it will engulf the foreign bacteria, and renal production of antibodies. Antibodies will help to get rid of the bacteria because it will form antigen antibody complex, and it will surround the bacteria and it will engulf the bacteria with the help of the leukocyte, that is called as local leukocyte phagocytosis. And it is all about the uncomplicated UTIs. And coming to the complicated UTI, so complicated UTI occurs in the patients who are having the neurogenic bladder or the bladder diverticulum. So it means the menopausal woman who is aged of 50 or more than age, so she will undergo the complicated UTIs. Why this happens? Because the prolapse have increased frequency of UTI due to incomplete bladder emptying. So as I discussed above, the thin film of the urine remains in the bladder after emptying. But in postmenopausal women, the bladder will not empty completely. So incomplete bladder emptying. So if the bladder is not emptying completely, then a thin film of urine will not remain in the bladder. So it will not produce the mucosal cell production. So the bacteria is not going outside the body. So this is the complicated UTI symptom, and this causes the residual bacteria to act on the local bladder mucosal defenses. So how the body cope up with this condition is the high urine glucose content and the defective host immune factor in the patient with the diabetes mellitus can also lead to infection. So another cause for this complicated UTI is urine is having the high glucose content, and also host immune factor will be there. No, it is not very strong to cope up with the bacteria. So defective host immune factors are present in the patients who are having the diabetes mellitus. For them also it leads to infection. So it is all about the pathophysiology of the infection. So next is how we have to diagnose this infection. First, they will take the urine sample and they will test it for the nitrites, leukocytes, and also leukocyte esterase. So if there is a high bacterial load, so if they are taking the urine sample and it is tested, and if there is a presence of the bacterial load and there is not the presence of leukocyte, then it is contamination. Okay. So they will also check for pyelonephritis. So pyelonephritis is ruled out on checking for costovertebral angle tenderness. So it is for the complicated UTI we can see. Next is the urine culture also they will do. If the urine culture is negative, then it will cause the sexually transmitted disease. We have to consider it as the sexually transmitted disease. We should not consider it as the urinary tract infection, but we have to consider it as a sexually transmitted disease like Neisseria gonorrhoeae, chlamydia, etc. If the symptoms of cystitis are due to if it is positive or something, then it is interstitial cystitis. So the next is the diagnosis. We have completed the pathophysiology and the diagnosis. The next we will discuss in the part 3 video, which is coming soon.